No, I can't.
Hey everyone, Julie Bartkus here, and I'm delighted to share with you an interview with one of my Dreamy clients, Mary Wardlaw, who, when we first started working together, got 36 enrollments in 3 weeks. And I know some of your jaws drop whenever I say that. So I wanted to share Mary with you today and take you along on Mary's journey, and also let you have the opportunity to ask her questions. So, Mary, welcome to our live broadcast.
Thank you.
Isn't it exciting? Is this your first live one? Live?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And how's the weather out by you guys? Are you getting snow like we're supposed to be getting?
Oh, I think we're done with snow, but it has been raining all day, so it's kind of gloomy.
Oh, no. All right. I know, gloomy here too. I just got off the phone with somebody in Dubois who wanted me to come out there. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's beautiful here. It's like 80 and sunny. And I'm like, oh, it's like so cold here. So let's just start. And I'm going to put up this little title here. Let's see if we get that up there. So this is all about how you can fill your enrollments in record time, how you can attract and retain your Dreamy staff and Dreamy clients, and really how everything holistically impacts the other piece. Because often we think about things, we're like, oh, we need to market our program or we need to do this, and we're looking at everything segmented. But what we want to do today is pull it together for you so you can see how the whole picture goes together. And then we have a little gift for you at the end of our broadcast, too, that you're going to want to stay tuned for. So if you're listening to this live broadcast, of course, you know how much I love. So give us some love, give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up. Also, feel free to give us a shout out. So say hello, make a comment, and I'll flash them across the screen. You could also ask questions. So if Mary says something or I say something, you have a question, go ahead and ask your question. It's perfectly fine. That's why we're here. That's why we're coming to you live and as close to in person as we possibly can today, because I know you're watching from all over the world. Also, one other thing important to mention is that if you know anybody who this can really help, please tag them in the comments so that they have the opportunity later to come back and plug in. And if you're listening to the replay of this, please know I do come back and read all of the comments. So leave them for me and I will come back and read through them and answer, or at least give your comment a like so you know that I was reading your comment. All right, Mary, our journey started, about 2 years ago?
Yeah, just about.
2 years ago. That was actually a little bit before that where you heard me speak.
Yeah. I actually heard you. I'm hearing myself. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Okay.
I actually started working with, I first found out about you almost 5 years ago and kind of followed you and really loved some of the things that I was seeing, but I didn't, jump in as much as I probably should have. Now looking back, obviously, there was getting that you were saying, but I've always followed your work. But I was in just a real rough place. I think every owner, every director of a childcare center, probably any business really, but specifically in childcare, goes through something at some time that just brings you low, it was not how it's supposed to be. Things weren't supposed to be going this direction. And, I was just in a place where I needed direction and I needed hope. And I needed someone that could come alongside me and really point me in the right direction. And I had seen on Facebook an advertisement to go to one of your conferences that was in Chicago, and it's only an hour and a half away from me. And I thought, well, I can do this. I can just go and I can just see what it's about. And so I went, and just several of the things that you said in that conference, I felt like were meant just for me. And I'm sure everybody there probably felt that way too. It was that moment that I realized that you were the person that's what I was missing, is the mentorship that could come from working with you.
So what was it? So was there one thing that you remember that was the poignant moment of, oh my goodness, just the knowing? Because we get a lot of people who say that, like, I just knew I had to work with you. So what do you think it was that brought that awareness to your attention? Was there anything?
I don't know. I can't really pinpoint one specific thing. There were a lot of things that you said that just resonated with me, that about taking responsibility for things, and knowing that no matter where you are right now, that it doesn't have to define you. I got those impressions from you, and I just felt like you were going to be able to set me on the right path.
Awesome. I love when that knowing happens. And that's why I always say that our community, we've got a spiritual kind of undertone, because a lot of people are very spiritual who are in our community, and they just have this knowing, that, I was just guided. I needed to be in your campus. And you've now been a part of our mentorship. This is, I think you're going on your second year, and you've also had me on site. And now you're even, we're going to be revealing more pieces of your vision, but you're even thinking getting a book out there and doing some different things, because you have just really had this tremendous growth spurt with what you've accomplished. So if I would have told you, Mary, before we started working together, and this may bring back some other memories of some of our private conversations, that you would go through a period where you got 36 enrollments in 3 weeks, and I told you that before you even signed on the dotted line, so to speak, what would you have thought?
I would have thought maybe you didn't really know. You weren't really understanding my situation.
And how could that be possible, right? But it did happen.
It did happen, and very quickly after we started working together. It seemed like it was maybe a month in, and I was already seeing these amazing changes, and those enrollments came. We were every day there were new people signing up, and my program director and I were just like looking at each other saying, what is going on? This is so cool. So it was wonderful. It really was. And to understand the lack of hope that I had just 30 days prior to these 36 enrollments, it's like night and day. A shift took place so quickly, and it was just like a snowball rolling down a hill, that things just start getting better really fast, and so it was good.
Yeah, and you've been an amazing student. So really kudos to you on everything that you really just in faith took action and implemented, because that's a huge leap for you to say, you know what, this is what Julie's saying, I'm going to go run and do this. And we were having a conversation with somebody who was thinking about signing on with our mentorship, and you were there, and they're like, oh, well, how did you do that? And you're like, well, I just do what she says.
Totally. And really, there was one point that I really didn't believe. This is when you said, you'll be full by January. And I was thinking, okay, this is November and December. We don't typically enroll that many families during those months, but you said it. So I chose to believe it. You had enough for the both of us at that time. And so I just jumped in and I did what you said to do. And it was amazing that we were enrolling in these months that I had always just accepted weren't high volume enrollment months. I just accepted that because that's the way it's always been that way. So
right.
And so, you said, no, you're going to enroll. You're enrolling right now. You're going to have, I don't know how many it was, 20 more kids by January. And I just said, okay.
Yeah. And when we first signed, so when you first signed up for the mentorship program, we start off with a 90-minute strategy session. And Mary and I had that call. We had our strategy session. We can dig deep as you need to go to help you make the transformation happen. And we dug deep. And then I didn't hear from Mary for, I think it was like 2.5 weeks. And then all of a sudden she came to our closed Facebook group. and she started making posts. And it was like a post in the morning, a post in the afternoon, a post in the, it was like, this is crazy. We just got 20 more and look at what's happening here. And I'm just like, really? So it's like he went into just, the silence and just started putting all the strategies that we talked about on that very first call into place. So to me, when I look at it, it's almost like that very first call was worth, you just investing in the mentorship to get those results.
Yeah, it was. It absolutely was, because you just were able to see exactly where I was emotionally and where my mindset was and how my thinking was just off. And you were able to just help me flip a switch just like that. It was like a veil was lifted and I could see clearly, some ways I had been thinking that were wrong, and we just corrected it that fast.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. And if you're watching this and you have any questions for Mary, please go ahead and submit them in the comments. You can also just give us a shout out and say hello. Let us know that you're enjoying this. And we're taking you through Mary's journey of 36 enrollments in 3 weeks, as well as now just really attracting and retaining some pretty dreamy staff. So in this initial session that we had, it really launched you into filling your enrollments. And we teach our childcare business success model, which has the vision at the center. It's the core. And then surrounded by that is your mindset and then your people. Was that a valuable piece to really have understanding of how that model could work holistically together?
Absolutely, because so many times I just focused on one aspect of that. Like I would just focus on the processes of things. If I can just follow these processes, we'll get where we need to get. But I was missing some core pieces that I needed in order to really make everything come together. So I would succeed in a little area over here, but I'd feel like I was falling apart over here. And then I'd spend time focusing on this little area, and then I'd fall apart over here. So, it was either I was all focused on enrollment and my staffing was falling apart, or I'd, try to focus on my staffing, and then I look and enrollment was down. So I needed to bring it all together and not just focus on the processes or just focus on the people. I needed to bring everything all together, and your model helped me to do that.
Fantastic. After this journey started, so past the first 3 weeks, getting those 36 enrollments, what were the other moments for you in your journey where it was like the light bulbs just kept going off and you started accomplishing bigger and bigger and bigger things, and your vision was expanding and expanding and expanding? So what were some of those other monumental moments that you've had in your journey so far?
Well, I think learning to focus on the positives instead of thinking about what's wrong, changing that to how is this going to turn out right for me mentality has been huge. And the biggest factor in that, I would have to say, is with my staff. And, we'd have a staff member leave, and I was determined not to be stressed, not to be worried and, so upset that a staff member left, but instead to react and respond with excitement, because I knew that somebody awesome was getting ready to walk in. And one night I was at the center, it was about dinner time, and the doorbell rang, and we were really in need of a staff member, and not just any staff member, I wanted a qualified, high quality, really wonderful staff member. And so the doorbell rang and I went and answered it, and there was a woman standing there with a pizza in her hand. And I thought, okay, she's got a box of pizza. So she came in, she said, I was just across the street at the pizza place and I saw your sign for the Children's Center. What is this place? And so I was excited to tell her about, what we were and what we did. And she said that she was actually a preschool teacher at another program in another city and had to quit because she needed to find something in our city. And she had a bachelor's degree and lots of years of experience in preschool teaching. And so we talked about the position that we had open, set up a formal interview, hired her, and she has been amazing. She's still here. It's been, it must be a little over a year now that she's been here. And she is just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And so I started noticing things like this were happening more and more. So our staff members that weren't a right fit for my vision, that didn't hold to what I felt was our priority and our vision and what we really needed to be working toward, they just started to fall off, to walk away, or, just they were not staying part of our program. And then these really wonderful people just started showing up. And so that was just so amazing for me, because I can look back now and see where we were a year ago and look at our staff now, and they are just amazing, amazing people, and they're the right fit for our program.
That's awesome. Now, do you think, and this might be a little bit of a tricky question, but you met this gal, pizza place across the street, wanders in, your energy's open to it. Do you think this might have happened prior to our work together, where maybe you were in a different mindset about what was possible?
I don't know. And here's what I think. If I hadn't been in the mindset that I was in, even if she had shown up, I don't think that she would have been attracted to the energy that I was, feeling at the time. If a really qualified, amazing person walks in and they get the feeling from you that you're, desperate or that, your program maybe isn't quite as good as, you're almost apologizing when you're giving the interview. I mean, it's a state of mind that people can sense. And so I definitely feel like both with the enrollments and talking to families that were coming in and talking to staff members, they were really getting a sense of, this program is amazing and I need to be here. I need my kids to be here. I need to work here. And so that is where I feel like, all the opportunities were coming and really falling into place.
Yeah, and your mindset makes a huge difference. People will often say, Julie, I'm writing these help wanted ads and nobody's coming in, or these enrollment ads. I'm like, well, hey, what's the energy that you're in when you're writing those ads? And are they a reflection of the fear and desperation that you feel? Or are they an energetic representation of the vision that you're cultivating every single day? And most of the time people, that's when they have an aha moment. They go, oh, because it's like, oh my gosh, somebody just left. I need to write an ad, need to put on, but then it's just, yeah, we offer competitive benefits and wages and blah, blah, blah. And there's no really good energy behind that ad. So then it doesn't attract. And we have Tanya, is it Tanya? I'm going to put her comment up here. Let me still make it bigger. I don't know if you're able to see this, Mary. Oops, did I show it? Oh, there, it's on the screen. I have to put on my glasses. Okay, so this is Toya. Toya, sorry about that. So Toya wants to know, what's the secret? Well, we're revealing some of the secrets, but if somebody were to say, Mary, you got 36 enrollments in 3 weeks, what's the secret? What's the secret to having Dreamy staff? Could you even sum it up in what the secret is?
Oh man, that is hard, because it's not one thing or a list of steps that you take. It's a mindset and a frame of mind, and following through on, for me, following through on what Julie was telling me to do. I had this positive list of goals that I wanted to achieve, and I wrote them as if I had already achieved them, and I'd read through that every day. And I just really think that the positive energy, I don't know what else to call it, that I was giving when I was talking to people was like a magnet. It just drew them in. And if there's one thing I could say that made the difference, it was when the switch kind of flipped, and I all of a sudden really decided and believed that we were an amazing program and other people would be lucky to work for us and other families will be lucky to be in our program. And when you begin to feel that way and communicate in that way, that people are, I mean, I don't flat out say you'd be lucky to work. But when I explain how awesome our program is and where we're going, what we're headed for, what our goal is, what my vision is for this program, and why we do what we do, and I talk to people about that, it's like a magnet. It draws them in. They're not just getting the regular. Well, we have this and we offer that, and but they're getting a real sense of, I would love to be in this environment.
Yeah, and what I'm really digging right now, and that I'm hearing in your voice, is just this authentic place of being happy, being on fire, where that wasn't there before in our first call. Then it was a lot more fear, desperation, but now it's this pure passion. And I know we've had brainstorming sessions about your marketing and different ideas that flow from that authentic and genuine place. How valuable has it been to, take it to the level that you did? And then when you needed marketing ideas or PR ideas or whatever it might be, things for your parents, that now we got on the phone and we had a different conversation that flowed from this place, but then all these ideas came forth that you were like so in sync with. So how valuable was it to have that support from us or from me on that level?
Extremely important. When I come to you, Julie, with something I'm struggling with, or with something I want to see more of, I want to see more amazing families. I love our families, and I want more of those families to enroll. And I talk to you about this. You just give me such good ideas. And one thing that flowed from one of our conversations was to have a time where we just celebrate our families, because I wanted our families to really feel how much we love them. And so you suggested having this celebration, and what flowed out of that, it was so cool, because we had a party where we invited all of our current families. The whole family could come. We paid for pizza for the whole families. All of the teachers were in their own classrooms with games going on for the kids and face painting, and we hired a balloon artist, and it was so much fun. And the energy that was in that place at that time was phenomenal. The families were so excited. And then we used that as an opportunity to say, would anyone want to do a video testimonial? And it was awesome, because that energy that they had during that celebration moment was captured on those videos. And then we were able to share that with other families. So now they hear me talk about how much I love the Children's Center, but they also are hearing other families talk about how much they love the Children's Center and why they want their kids to stay here. And so it was just like this launching pad for a lot of excitement in our program, and just really continued to build that positivity that we had.
Yeah, that's awesome. When you start your journey, and I know for me, one of the reasons that I still to this day have coaches and mentors who I work with is because I know how easy it is for your mindset to go backwards. And I recommend everybody get a coach, get a mentor, somebody who you resonate with, somebody who you really feel in your gut is the person who's going to guide you to the next level. And there's also things out there like mastermind groups, but you got to make sure that you've got somebody. And right now I got a coach who's very personal and hands-on business strategy. It's really important to have that. How critical was it for you, Mary, as you progressed on this journey? Let me first ask you, were there times where you were gung-ho with your mindset, you were going to do this is going to happen, and then something unfolded that your eyes saw, and you slipped back to the old mindset?
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
tell us about that? And then maybe about how we got on the phone and brought that forward for you again and how critical that piece is for you.
Yeah, well, I don't know that I can remember one specific situation, but I think that does happen. Even to this day, that happens. Even though I know what I need to do, there are times that I just get bombarded. It seems like sometimes I will just get, from every direction get struggles, and from home, from work, from the staff, from families, things that are going on in the community. And I will just feel so overwhelmed that I feel like I'm just in a traffic jam stuck, and I don't know how to move forward. And it's at those times that it's really valuable for me to know that I can just pick up the phone and give you a call or email you or whatever way we're going to communicate, and just say, I need to work through this. If it's, I need to work with my staff, I'll tell you what issue we're facing, and you'll say, that's great. So this is what you want to see. In order to see that, maybe try this. And well, now I do remember one particular time. It was just how to get the staff on board. It was the beginning of really trying to encourage them to embrace my vision for the center, to bring that back to the center of our focus, to have that be what everything else is around. And you encouraged me and gave me an idea for the staff meeting. And this particular one was how to get everybody to raise the bar. So I had this goal that we were going to, hit 4 stars within a year. And it's not about the stars, but it's about being a high quality program and making it to that next level. And so for me, I needed to know how to get the staff on board, because I was looking at all the things that were going wrong, all the things that they were doing that they shouldn't be, or things that I was noticing in the classrooms that I didn't want to have to see day after day. So, that's where my focus was. But you encouraged me to actually have a staff meeting where I shared my vision, said this is where we're going, and then gave them the opportunity to tell me how they were going to improve their classroom or their instruction or whatever. So we had this poster board where I drew like a bar, and it was just called Raising the Bar. So each staff member had the opportunity to walk up and write down how they were going to raise the bar in their classroom. And they did one by one. They just said, in my classroom, I'm going to do this, or in my lesson planning, I'm going to do that, or when I'm talking to parents, I'm going to do this. And so they each came up with, based on what they felt was their biggest need, a way that they were going to raise the bar in their classrooms. And that was just to have all of the staff members at the same time raising the bar, so to speak. It was just like a lift to the program. And so that's one example. But those are the types of situations that where my focus might have been on the negative, you helped me to bring something very positive out of it.
Yeah, one thing I love to do is look at our owners and directors and what are their objectives for what change do they want to see in their staff happen in the next day, week, month, and then design a customized activity. Because otherwise we could just shoot kind of like out of the dark and say, oh, well, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to re-lecture about this, or I'm going to do that. But when you get on the phone with me, and we're able to brainstorm together and say, oh, okay, here's the activity that's going to help you take this to the next level. And then what did you experience after you facilitated that activity? And Mary was posting pictures in our closed Facebook group for our mentorship members of all these different things that she's implemented and done. She's like, here's what I did, Julie, and it worked. So, but you tell us, what was the after effect of that activity that we put into place?
Well, it was just the morale was instantly changed. That everything was lifted in the center. I didn't feel the negativity as I walked through. I felt positive things happening, and heard lighter, more positive conversations happening, and seeing people do what they were, what they're supposed to be doing, and focused on the right things in their classrooms. So by focusing on the good, the bad just wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's amazing. So, you got your organization to this point. So your enrollments are getting full in record time. You're getting full at a time when you should not be getting full. And now you're attracting these dreamy staff just walking in off the street saying, hey, guess what? I've got a degree and I'd like to work for you. And then now you're turning your staff meetings around. If you were to put like $1 on all of this value, I mean, what would it be? I know we've done some calculations with like what would have been dripping out of your pocket before, but what would that number be?
I don't know that I can put a value, I mean, a dollar amount, because the value is so huge for me. For me, I was at a point where whatever it takes, and twice what I paid it still would have been worth it. So, I think what people tend to do when they're in a situation that's difficult, as I was, you tend to say, I can't do it. And I'm in a situation and I just can't afford to do what someone else did to get to where they are. But how I felt was I couldn't afford not to, because the situation was robbing me of my joy. And, if you can't fill your enrollments, then you're not ever going to be able to afford it. And I looked at it the other way and I thought, what if I could get, 4 more kids enrolled because of what she told me? That would more than pay for what she told me. And I knew that it would make a huge difference. I knew that it would be worth it. And it's been so worth it. I can't put into words. Listen, it's night and day. Where I was a year ago or a year and a half ago to where I am now, it's night and day. And it kind of hurts. I can feel what it felt like a year and a half ago. And I don't want to feel that again. So, it's been worth every dime, so much more for, to see my program grow to where it is in enrollment and in excellence, and to see my vision come to life in the program. That's something that I never could have done on my own. I just didn't really understand how that could work. So it's worth every penny.
Awesome. Yeah, and I can feel it when you're talking about it. It brings me back to the moment of some of our first conversations. But even if you're looking at being a small team, 10, 15, 20, 30 people, the numbers can add up to millions of dollars that are dripping out of your pocket. And one of the biggest profit killers in your childcare business is unmotivated staff, because they impact so much, even your own mindset in terms of what you come to believe is possible for your childcare business. So once you really start reworking this on a holistic level, from your vision, your mindset, your people, the 3 most critical components, and then your processes, but you start seeing some crazy, amazing results. And that's Mary's word. I'm stealing your word sometimes. Hers is, it's just crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy. Oh, she said it. But, when we talk about the impact of this, it also had an impact on your personal life. Can you share with us a little bit about how it changed things for you, just very holistically, beyond your program?
Oh, just to have that stress lifted off my shoulders was huge. I mean, I love my family. My husband and I have been married now 26, it'll be 27 years this year. And he could always tell that I carried so much weight. And he would say to me, it just seems like you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I didn't want to bring stress home. I didn't want that to be, what my whole family saw. I wanted to have joy and energy. And so just making this transformation, all of a sudden he would see me coming home excited, and I'd be telling my family about this new teacher that I hired, or this new family that's coming in, and planning for this party that we're going to do, and just so much excitement and so much joy. And even walking through the center where before I would walk through and just be looking to make sure everybody's safe and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And now I walk through and I just feel this sense of gratitude and this sense of joy. And, I have a strong faith in God, and I just walk through the center saying, thank you, God, for letting me be part of this. This is amazing. Thank you for this. Thank you for this classroom. Thank you for that family that just walked by. And it's totally different, and it absolutely impacts the family. And so, it's been just a very positive impact on my family at home as well.
Great. And if you're just joining us, I'm talking to Mary Wardlaw, who's one of my students, and she's did the incredible thing. You've heard me brag about her. I brag about her all the time. 36 enrollments in 3 weeks, Dreamy staff. And I know it's one thing for me to say it, but it's another thing for me to introduce you to Mary, who has just implemented amazing things. And part of it is just us being able to collaborate, get on the phone and say, okay, here's the direction that you need to go. But then Mary runs with it all and does it and reports back on the results. If you have a question for Mary, or if you're loving this interview, let us know, give us a comment, and I'll show those later before we wrap up. And we also have a gift for you at the end of the broadcast. So you're going to want to stay tuned. And there's something really cool that Mary did as a representation of her vision. And we'll talk about that as we progress with this interview. But feel free to give us a shout out. And of course, if there's anybody who you feel can benefit from this, please tag them. Please tag them. I really want to end the isolation and the feelings of being alone and the pain that you sit there in thinking, how the heck am I going to deal with this? I want you to know that there's a way. And the way that Mary found was through our childcare program of excellence mentorship, which has a whole host of lots of benefits and lots of things we're continuously working on getting out. But the biggest thing is that you get to see the shift in your life, personally and professionally, that you so deeply desire. And I tell you what, if you're desiring things on a deep level, you have to know this, is that you're desiring it for a reason. And it's within you for a reason. And it's because everything that it takes for you to fulfill that desire is already here. You want a secret? Here's a secret. It's about shifting your mindset, up-leveling your thought process so that you can be in the same energy or frequency of the things that you need to fulfill for your desires to come through. Does that sound like a fair statement, Mary?
I think so.
And we were just in Hawaii, and Mary wrote that down on one of her we do power packs, and we've got all these what we call really high-level dreamy thoughts written out on pieces of paper. Show all of them. I was talking about them last night, but one of Mary's was to go to Hawaii, and we were in Arizona, and she's like, and we're going to Hawaii. And we did it. We made it happen, and we brought a group of our owners out to Hawaii, and we had a great 3-day event there. And we did a whole video day too, where everybody got to get in front of the camera and be positioned as the experts, or if they have some promotional video to put online. And we actually in Hawaii did roundtables. We got the video footage, so I'm hoping by Lake Geneva time we're going to show you some videos. But so we positioned everybody, and they got to participate in panel discussions about different topics that they decided on so that they could get some great information out to the parents. So we also incorporate done for you marketing so that it's not only you have to go and do this, this, and this, and this, but what we do in our childcare program of excellence mentorship is give you some tools that you can use. How do you like the seal, Mary?
I love the seal. Yeah, I love the seal. I put it on everything. I have it on my enrollment packets. It's a child care program of excellence, a gold seal. It's wonderful. It just looks so. Oh yeah, I put it on all my enrollment packets. I put it on our website. And
you've got it even right on your front door or your glass. We gave some transparent seals that you could put right on glass.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, we love the embossed seals, and that caught my attention because I'm like, I picked up a flyer one day and had an embossed seal on. I'm like, oh, you know what? We want parents to feel the difference. So we need an excellent seal, and that we can get you guys embossed copies so that you can just like put it on all of your stuff and parents can feel the difference. So I love that. Yeah. So even though you were accomplishing all of these amazing results, you called me one day, or we were Facebooking. You said, Julie, I want you to come on site. I want to take this to the next level. So getting all of those amazing results, what was it that prompted you to say, okay, I want to take this another level and have you here?
I think I needed all of the staff to hear at one point, to all be led by you at one point, to just bring their focus, I guess, onto the things that it should be. We have a great staff, an amazing staff, but from time to time, you might notice that, they're beginning to focus on maybe the wrong things according to your vision, or, you just walk through and get a sense that the joy that you want to be seeing and hearing isn't there, or, I don't know. I really felt like I wanted them to feel the way I felt. And that I thought that could be, just helped best by bringing you on site to get us all in the same level at the same time. And then we could continue to move forward in that way.
And how did it work out?
Oh, it was amazing.
Well, Senior director, I remember her saying it was phenomenal. So. It
was phenomenal, yeah. It was so good. We have never had an all-day training before, and I have to tell you that my staff was not looking forward to spending their Saturday in a training. And it was just really cool, because afterward I was hearing things like, that was so awesome. I am so glad we did that. They felt more connected to each other. They felt more connected to me. There was just a strong sense of community between us. We did exercises that just really helped us not only to get to know each other, but to appreciate each other. And it was a good experience to bring us all together, bring us all onto the same page, and help us to move forward in a really positive way.
Great. And one of the things with our Childcare Program of Excellence Mentorship is that I really believe that it has to be top down, but it also needs to incorporate your leadership team. So with our excellence program, not only do the owners get personal coaching and mentoring with me and get to be part of our close Facebook community, but your leaders also have our support. They have their own closed Facebook group. They participate in their own monthly calls. And they come to 2 of the live events. We have 3 live events throughout the year, 1 just for owners, 2 for owners and their entire leadership teams. So let's talk about Miss Sue. And, and I know when I hear from directors, they're like, my owner just gave me such a tremendous gift by making me a part of this. What transformations have you seen in Sue, or what comments have you heard from Sue about being part of the Excellence Mentorship?
She absolutely loves it and feels so incredibly supported in being part of this. There's not anything that I could have done that could have made her feel more supportive than what's happening in this group. It's very different. It's just such strong personal support. But this is what's amazing. She has transformed she was an excellent manager, Now she is an excellent leader, and she is just becoming amazing to see someone else pick up your vision and run with it. And that's what I feel like is happening. And she is really on board. She loves my vision and has passion for my vision as much as I do. It's become her vision too for the program. And just the strides that she's making and working with the staff and one-on-ones and giving them strong support, and working with families and really just carrying on my vision it's been so good. It's been so good for me, and it's been so good for her. So I think that the entire program has benefited significantly from her being part of this program with me. It's great being in it on my own, but I can't imagine that we could be as far as we are if she had not been part of this too.
Yeah. And we try to create it so that there's enough distinction between, the value that the owners get and the value that directors get, and being able to work with the multi-tiers. I think that's just a really cool component of the program that I really like, is being able to, and even though our directors group, it's totally confidential. We don't let the owners in there, and directors are not in the owners group. But I see like the two pieces, and I just try to make sure that we're all going in the same direction with what I'm teaching one group and how I'm supporting another group. So I think that's a pretty awesome aspect. Yeah. So what do you think? So if you look back, what do you think it's like if you were to tell somebody else, if they were to say, Mary, I'm thinking about joining this childcare program of excellence mentorship, what would you tell them, and why would you say that?
Oh, I would tell them to do it. I would say, you just can't get where you want to get if you don't have someone supporting you and helping you see how to get there. And, especially for me, considering how down I was and just really overwhelmed to within a very short time, really one conversation, to have everything just changed and to see everything in a new light. I had already felt after our first conversation that it was worth it. And now I've had a year and a half in this, and to see where my program has gone in that year and a half, and to see all of my goals and all of my dreams for the center just coming to fruition, and seeing differences in my staff and feeling different about my staff and about my program and about my families. That can't happen if someone leading you there, because if you knew how to get there, you'd already be there. So,
right.
I would say just don't wait. Just don't wait. Any expense that's involved, you'll by far make it up with the enrollments that come along because of the changes that you're making. So if it's about finance, I don't think that's a legitimate reason not to, because I, in all honesty, I believe that you'll get what you need, by far to exceed what you pay for the program. And if it's something else that's keeping you back, really examine that. And I would just say reach out and talk to Julie, and maybe one conversation with her, and you'll understand if you need to do it. You'll understand why you need to do it, and maybe you don't need to do it. I don't know, but I would say, don't wait on making that step to at least connect with you and find out, what it is that you could do to help.
Yeah. And if you feel, for some reason, like the mentorship isn't for you, we did start an entry-level program, which is our Excellence Club, which I'm really excited about. But it's a place where you can actually just start getting your toes wet a little bit with some of the benefits that we have there. And, and I'm more than happy to have a conversation. But Mary's right, and I think the thing is, she felt a kind of like a seed being planted, I think probably 5 years prior when she first heard me. And then she waited, and then it almost got to the point where it was kind of like your rock bottom, where you were in that place of desperation and not knowing what to do. And it almost started looking just hopeless because things were just on this downward spiral. And to think about making the decision, too many of us worry about the how. We worry about how are we going to do this? How do we do that? How do we have that money? If it resonates with you, sometimes it's a leap of faith. Well, I should say all the time, it's a leap of faith just to take that action and then know that the how is going to show up. Because if you're looking at a mentorship, it's one enrollment. or it's 2 enrollments per month, that's it. In our first strategy session, we definitely knock that out. So you've got the strategy in place. So often people will say, oh, well, I just don't have the timings right. And it might be because you're doubting yourself in terms of, can I really follow through on this commitment? Or will Julie let me down? Well, I know definitely I'm not going to let you down. And we even have done more to have personal contact with our folks. We actually gave our mentorship members an application for their phones. Well, we didn't give it, we didn't create it, but it's a Boxer. But we told our mentorship members, hey, you want more contact with me? Here's Boxer, and you could box me anytime. So it's like a walkie-talkie that's on our telephones. And if there's a situation going on, you could box me and I'm right there. Depending upon what I'm involved with or if I'm speaking depends on how quickly I could get back to you. But it's usually a pretty quick response that I could give to you. Also, we've got our new coaching accountability system, which is online, where if you like this kind of thing, you could break down your goals into small pieces. You put them into the coaching hub, and that's another place where you and I have a personal interaction in terms of what are the things you're working on, what support do you need. Have you liked those additional tools that we've added, Mary?
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like everything you brought in has just been another level of support for us. And I have used the Voxer several times to, I don't know, is that an old person thing to say, the Voxer?
The Voxer, I don't know.
I know. I use that app to communicate with Julie. I've used it multiple times, and it's really good. So, yeah, definitely there's a lot of value in being part of this program.
Great. And your vision really evolved. And like I told everybody, we're going to have a gift for you coming up very soon. So stay with us. If you would like to say hello, if this is valuable to you, please let us know. Please say hi. If you are thinking about a mentorship, let me know that. I'll make sure you get some information. And I'll let you know right now, one of the gifts that I have for you is that I'm going to make it available to you to have a free consult with me. So we're going to be waiving our $500 session fee for 30 minutes, and you could actually hop on the phone with me. And during that time, you'll be able to know in your heart, is a mentorship right for me? Is it not? So we're going to be making that available to you as our free gift. So I just gave that away, but there's another part of this. But if you have a question, go ahead and write a comment. If somebody should be tagged, if you know somebody else should be listening, please tag them. And also please like this so that others will see it. What else is going to say to you guys? I don't know. Yeah, just love us. Give us some love. So Mary, as your vision deepened, we've had lots of conversations about living in your vision, living in it as opposed to just having a vision. Many teams have a vision. They wrote it on a piece of paper. It's taped to the wall. It's put away in a file cabinet. It's in the administrative binder, but we're not living in it. Can you relate to any of those statements?
Oh yeah, definitely. Before I started working with you, I don't even know if I really had a vision that came from my heart. It was more of a statement of what I thought were good ideas, but it wasn't a vision that came from my heart that truly expressed my love and passion for what I do for our families and through everything we do in the center to love our families. So one thing that you really helped me get to was what I really wanted my vision to be. And that had so much to do with just wrapping my arms around every child and every family and every staff member and even our community, and in a way that they just felt loved. And it's really, really happening in our center. Our teachers love the children in our program. They're not just students, they're children that our teachers really genuinely love. They have these real relationships with these kids, and that's what I'm all about. I mean, the education is right there too. That happens much better when a child is feeling loved. So they go hand in hand for me. And that has really been a powerful force in my program. Parents come in and they can feel the difference in my program. They can feel loved. They can tell that something is different about this place. It's not just a technical, teaching facility. This place has love. And so that was really important to me, to find ways to bring that vision in all levels, through everything we do, in all of our communications with each other, with our families, with the staff, with the community, just making sure that was coming through, that our vision was really coming through in everything that we did.
Yeah, and it's one thing to have a vision, a whole different ball of wax, to be alive with your vision. If you're alive with your vision, it's growing, it's expanding every day. And it's one of the things that I really get a crazy kick out of teaching, is how to keep that vision alive to where it's growing and becoming stronger. And one of the things that we had conversations about, Mary, was tangible items or things that you're passionate about. As an owner, there's what I call different layers of your vision. And it's really important that we be looking at things that excite us and that motivate us and that inspire us, and working that into our vision. Because if our vision just becomes something totally separate from us, then there's not really that emotional connection. And the word that Mary's using, the word feel, that's how parents and staff make their buying decision. And staff, if they're going to come work for you, they're choosing to buy you. They're choosing to buy that vision. Parents, the same thing, but it's all about how many emotional connections do you have. So one of the things I knew about Mary, I don't even know how I knew. I think it's just because I heard your voice and I was like, Mary, do you sing? And she's like, yes, I sing. So I think along the way, we've always talked about you maybe writing a song or having a song that really reflected your vision. And tell me about that seed that was planted, and then what you did with it and how it grew for you.
Well, one day Julie did say to me, you should write a song, because we had been talking about music, like she said, and she said, you should write a song. And I thought, write a song? And she said, yeah, you should write a song that, that kind of talks about the vision that you have for your program. And so, I picked up my my notes here, and every time I want to accomplish something new, I write it down. So I wrote down that I was going to write a song, and that night I fell asleep and woke up in the middle of the night with the words and the tune running through my head, and I just picked up my phone and typed in the words so I wouldn't forget them for the chorus, and went back to sleep. And then the next day when I got up, you always have that fear. That's probably not as good as I thought it was. But I loved it. It was a true representation of what's in my heart for our center and for our kids and our families. And so I continued to work on the verses throughout the day then, and finished up the song. And then I really didn't doing anything with it for a couple of months. And finally I decided that I was going to move forward with this and see what happened. So I sent it into a studio and sang the words into my phone and sent into the studio with the words, and had them professionally arranged and a professional voice put on. And so that song came together, and it's called Hold Me Tight. And I think it's more than just my vision. I think any teacher that listens to that song is going to really identify with why we do what we do and how much we love the kids that we care for. So that's really how that song came into being.
So vision, tangible items, now we have a song. And I've actually got the song here, so I'm going to play a bit of it for everybody if you guys want to listen. Who wants to listen? Give me an oh yeah as my comment, and I'm going to play the song for you, and then we're going to let you know how you could get your hands on it, and also what Mary's doing as a result of one of her staff members, or in honor of one of them. So I'm going to play this. I'll see if you could hear this. Okay, Mary, let me know.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, I'll just give you guys like a minute of it. Little boy says that he's angry. He wants the others to like him today, but he doesn't know how to get them to play. He runs to the car and then tries to hide. Can't make a friend and he doesn't know why. She takes his hand and she pulls him aside. She sees the question that's in his eyes. Who loves me? Who prove I'm worth the time? 'Cause I'm learning to love and I'm learning to trust. But I'm scared and don't know why. I will love you. I will prove you're worth my time. And I hope you trust and I'll be in love. Instead I hold you tight. Hold you tight. Woo! How does that feel listening to that, Mary?
Amazing.
Wow. Yeah. So you really, you just keep bringing things into fruition. So this is amazing. Well, let me hit the stop button here on the audio. So we want to let everybody know. So that's Hold On Tight by Mary Wardlaw. And like she says, every teacher will probably be able to resonate with that song on some level. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I wanted to give you guys a free gift. And Mary's going to tell us a little bit what she's going to be doing with this song or why it's important to her on a whole different level. But what I want to do is post a link on here where you can go and grab and download a copy of this song for, what is it, $2.99? And you can grab a copy of that for $2.99. And then what I would like to do is to have you send your receipt over to me, and I will give you a free session with me. So it's a free one-on-one. You and I will spend 20, 30 minutes strategizing together. Most people will come with a big, thick notebook. Is that true, Mary? Yeah, a big, thick notebook, and you write down lots of ideas. So I want to give that to you as my gift when you go and get Mary's song. And Mary, why don't you go ahead and tell us, and I'm going to post the link in the comments section. So if you're like, where do we do this and how do we do this? I will post it down below in the comments after we conclude our broadcast so that you could all go get this. And then whether you want a session with me or not, that's optional, but I want you to know it's a gift. And all you have to do is send your receipt over to julie@childcarebusinesssuccess.com. Or message me here through my Facebook page, and I think you could even upload an attachment there, and it'll be either myself or my assistant Robin, who often checks into my Facebook, who will help get that scheduled for you and get that on my calendar, because we'll be with our mentorship members next week in Lake Geneva, right? Woohoo!
Yes, we will.
Yeah. So Mary, go ahead and tell us about the importance of this song and this $2.99 that we're asking people to invest in the song.
Okay. Well, what really spurred me on to want to get this song out here now is that we are raising funds for a memorial for a staff member that worked with us for several months. It was close to a year that he worked with us. He was just amazing. His name was Adam, and the children just loved Adam, and the staff did too. He was wonderful and very young, and he passed away unexpectedly, and it was kind of devastating for all of us. But when we started communicating with his family members and talking to other people who have worked with him, we realized that he had another very special thing that he was part of, and it was a camp, and it was in Kentucky, Marion, Kentucky. And in this camp, he was a counselor for many years. In fact, he took his vacation time. He had 1 week of vacation, and he took that to go to the camp to be a counselor. And it was just a very special thing for him. And we found out that last year they had to turn away students because they didn't have enough bunks for them or enough cabins for them. And so they determined that they would like to build one and call it Adam Hall, which is just really sweet and wonderful. And so we wanted to support that in any way that we could. So what we're going to do is, for any funds that come in for this song, it was originally just till April 1st, but that's coming up real quick. So we're going to extend that a couple of weeks. And any funds that come in from people who buy this song, we're going to gather those together and send them to that camp so that that can be used to help other children be able to go to this place that Adam loved and believed in, and it made such a big difference in children's lives.
Awesome. So if you want to be part of Mary's vision, which is just continuously expanding, and if you're appreciative of the information that she shared with you during this interview, and I encourage you, write your comments, write your questions, and we'll come back and we'll read those. Will you come back and read those, Mary? And if there's anything that you can answer.
I will.
Yeah, so we'll both come back and we'll read those if there's anything that we can answer. But if you invest this $2.99 to help this camp in honor of Mary's staff member, Adam, who passed away unexpectedly and suddenly one day, I will also give you a free session with me. And like I said, we're waiving our $500 a fee for that so that you can have it totally free. And then you and I will discuss your secrets to you getting to the next level. Because as Mary's been sharing with you, your journey with me is a very personal one where if she were to tell you what she did, it might not be the thing that you need to do to get you to the next level. So it's really important that you have me in place as your mentor to really say, okay, here's where you're at. Here's the steps. Here's the mindset shifts, because it's not just blanket strategy. It's not just systematic and here you go. Here's a system, run with it. It's really about somebody to guide you each step of the way. So I encourage you all, I will post the link below. Once you purchase the song, send me the receipt, whether it's here on Facebook or to my email, julie@childcarebusinesssuccess.com. And I will arrange for you to have that session with me so we could get your secrets in place to getting you the results that you desire. And most importantly, the results that you deserve. Mary, if somebody's thinking about coming to our campus, Childcare Program of Excellence, what is it that you would tell them? And this might be really hard to pinpoint because when I think about everything that you just shared, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this even a good question? But what is it that you would say that this is what you're going to get here that you can absolutely not get anywhere else?
It's the personalized mentorship. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, that's what sets Julie apart from other programs. There are some amazing programs out there, but this is different because it's personalized. Julie looked at my situation and gave me specific instructions, specific ideas, mentorship, guidance, support that I needed to get to where I wanted to go. And it's not going to be the same for everyone. I guarantee that nobody in my group that's in our group right now had the exact same steps as I had to get where I am right now. Everybody is different because your experiences are different. So the thing that is different is that it's a mentorship. It's more than a coach. Coaches are vital. Tours are vital too. It is different. It's very personal, and it has definitely made a huge impact the way nothing else could have made.
Awesome, Mary. And I'm just very honored to be on this journey with you. You've been an amazing student, and like I said, it's just been a great journey. So if you have any comments, please leave your comments for us. We're probably going to wrap this up because we're going on, I don't know, hour and 15. But we're going to wrap this up, but we will come back and read through your questions. And if you've loved this, please let us know that we've loved it. Your feedback gives me more motivation to come back and do more of these live videos for you, which I really enjoy doing. And we'd love to do more for you. Also, if there's anybody who you feel can benefit from this, perhaps you're the director watching, you're like, oh my goodness, my owner needs to hear this, tag them, or when this wraps up, click on the video and then send them that link and just say, watch this, tune in. And I think that's all that I have. Is there anything that you want to say in closing, Mary?
No, I think I've said it all.
I think this was a great interview, great segment. I know I'm going to go get a copy of that song because I think it is absolutely beautiful. And, kudos to you for listening, and that's the thing is a lot of us have those desires in our hearts, those inklings of what we need to bring forward. And then we put our judgment over them. And we say, oh no, now's not the right time. I don't have the money, or I don't have the time, or I don't have this, or I don't deserve to have this, or I don't need this because it's an extra expense. So we put all these judgments, but then we're squelching our own success. So honor yourself. If anything else, honor yourself. Listen to the desires that are in your heart, and then go, it's there because I'm supposed to bring it to life. And then do what you got to do to bring it to life. And sometimes the desire is as simple as, oh, I need to go to the bookstore and get that book. And you'll be like, well, that's silly. I could just order that book online. But if your desire is to go into that bookstore, who knows? You might meet the man of your dreams, the staff member of your dreams. Some kind of situation might present itself. So it's more than just about that book. It's about the action that you're being guided to take for a very specific reason that's in alignment with the desires that are in your heart when you choose to listen. I'm Julie Bartkus. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here with you today. I'm your childcare business success mentor and workplace transformationalist, and Mary Wardlaw, Dreamy childcare owner. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. And of course, I wish you nothing but success going forward. And I'm thrilled that I get to interact with you all the time. So,
Thank you. It's been great being here too. And thank you for all you've done, Julie.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right, everyone. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.